interesting. I'll be showing you guys a very interesting project that some of our interns at Amdari worked at. And for a few of you on this call, this is your first session with Amdari, so you don't even know a lot about us, right? So before I even show you the projects, I am going to introduce Amdari to you, right? So for people that are just joining us, I already said introduce yourselves in the chat, right? Okay. Now I'm going to ask this question again because some people didn't join us when I asked. If this is your first session with Amdari, please give me a thumbs up so that we can kickstart right now. Give me a thumbs up if this is your first session with Amdari. All right. All right. Okay. So, what we're discussing today, for those of you that have not heard about Amdari before, you would get to learn about us on this call today, okay? And also, I'll be showcasing a very interesting project with you guys that some of our interns worked on, and they would also be here on this call with me to talk about the projects too. And also, I'll tell you how the internship works and how we can help you at Amdari, okay? And finally, this is going to be the most interesting part of this session. I don't want you to miss it. We have a special offer for you, right? And I wouldn't want you to miss it, okay? So let's get straight into it. Who is speaking to you right now? All right. I'm going to introduce myself, right? I am Victory Brown, as in brown color, yes. And I'm a data-driven growth strategist. What does that mean? I work with data, I've got tech and market, and I love working with professionals such as yourself. I help you guys transition seamlessly into the tech space through expert career guidance. Enough about me. This session is not about me, it's about you. Okay? So, why are you really here on this call with me? I know some of you just joined, you've never heard about Amdari before, so I'm just going to use a few scenarios to give you a scope of what we do at Amdari, okay? So I believe you've seen this a couple of times and you felt very frustrated about it. You apply for a job or you've applied for over 200 jobs, and out of these 200 jobs, you just landed 2 interviews or 3, right? I don't have someone that applied to over 500 and landed just 2 interviews, right? And now, a common feedback you get from these guys are, oh, we need someone that has more experience, right? If you've had this kind of similar experience before, just give me a thumbs up, right? You apply for as many jobs as possible and you're not getting feedback. Sometimes they just reject you straight up without even giving you audience to hear what you have to say. Now, this is a pain point and this can be very frustrating, especially if you are looking for a new job, right? Now, you want the chance to be proven, like you need that chance to prove yourself, you need that opportunity to prove that I can do this thing, but these companies are not willing to hire you. So how exactly do they expect you to gain the experience when they do not want to give you the job, right? You're looking for a job where your skills are valued and you can start earning as much as possible. I mean, most of you on this call, you know the earning power tech professionals have, right? You know that if you position yourself well and you land a very, very lucrative tech role, you'd be earning over 6 to 7 figures, okay? But the major issue now is even breaking into the tech space, and that is why you are all here on this call with me. All right, now we've come to establish a fact, right? Not just Amdari, but even a lot of reports have said this. If you're looking to transition into tech, the fastest way you can do it is by gaining experience. And what does this mean? A major reason why you're not even landing the jobs you're looking for at all, or you're not even getting these interviews, is because you don't have the relevant experience that these recruiters are looking for. That is just it. They want someone that will be able to come on board and get started as soon as possible. They are not expecting to hire you and start training you to do the job, right? They expect that you're coming on board and you start delivering results as soon as you can. So they are very hesitant in hiring people that do not have a lot of experience, because it's like they see you as a liability. They see you as someone that might probably cause problems in their industry, or might even, you don't have that experience. So they are literally you're using their business to test run, and they do not want that. That is just it. Okay. And you might think it's just victory that's coming on here to tell you I need experience. I mean, I'm not the only one saying this. I'm going to show you reports that back up exactly what I am saying. Okay. Now, you can see here that 6% of these roles expect you to have no previous experience. Why did I start with that? It tells you that there's a very slim possibility that you might likely even land that role. It's a possibility, and it's very, very slim. But how do you increase your chances? By having more experience, right? You've seen that 36% require you to have at least 1 year. Even 23% said at least 6 months. So you can see that these guys value experience so much that if you have a relevant form of work experience, you could be considered. Okay, you could be considered for the job. That is clearly what it means. And now the second report there tells you that entry level, what is a major reason why these entry level guys, they're not getting hired? Why? 49% of recruiters said it's because they lacked relevant work experience. 49% is a huge amount. That's almost half of them saying the same thing. So, does it still sound like we are assuming things? No, because this is facts. This is a report stating what I'm saying. Now, all this is building up to what we do for you at Andari, okay? So, what exactly do we do for you? At Amdari, we help you to gain that relevant work experience that these recruiters are looking for. Industry standard. We are not we're not assuming these things. We've gone in, we looked at everything necessary. What exactly do these guys want? How can we empower you with exactly what they want so that when you get into that interview hall or interview room, you're not confused. You know exactly what you're doing. We empower you with that. How do we do this? Through project-based experience and empowering you with employability skills. I'm not going to say so much because we're still going to go into that, right? So, why are we here today on this session, right? That is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, I mentioned that we give you project-based experience at Amdari. It is not just any kind of project-based experience that we're giving to you. It's real-world project experience, right? So, what does this mean? It means you are working on real-world problems, and this sets you apart from other candidates. It sets you apart when you've worked on a real world project. You have the experience that recruiters are looking for. Even if you are just breaking into the industry, right? You have an edge over a lot of people, right? That is what we do for you. So how exactly are these interns gaining this experience to stand out? I'm going to give you a process, right? How it works. And even after this, I'm still going to break it down further so you really understand what you'll be getting yourself into. Okay. So you get on board with us, right? We onboard you, we give you your job description, and we introduce Amdari to you. Okay. So you're already on board with us as a consultant. So you're a data analyst consultant for Amdari. Don't worry, I skipped some processes, but you'll soon understand. So just stay with me, okay? Now, we give you the project brief and the company introduction. So you get to understand the scope of this company you're working with, right? Because you could be working in companies from different industries, right? So we give you the problem statement, and you get to see the objectives you need to perform. You get to see the tools all in this project brief, right? Now we assign you. So on this particular call, we are focusing more on the business analyst guys and the PM guys. Okay. So we assign you to different aspects of the project, right? So a few people might be working on one phase of the project, another team will be working on the second phase, and you guys, at the end of the day, you're working together to build something unique. Okay. Now, while you're doing this, we are also updating your resume and your CV, right? We're optimizing your LinkedIn to reflect exactly what you're doing. So even a month into the project you're working on, you're already getting your CV optimized, and we are even mentoring you, right? You might get difficulties along the way of solving a particular project, and you have mentors that will be guiding you. Okay, I'm now building up to a particular project that that some of our interns worked on, and that's what we are going to be doing today. Okay, so these interns, this particular project I'm about to introduce to you is a cross-functional kind of project. So the interns work with a cross-functional team. We had business analysts on board, we had project managers on board, and we even had the web developers and web designers for this particular project I'm about to show you. Okay, and they were working on an actual business challenge and solving a real business problem. Okay, so this kind of experience, trust me, it's you won't even be sounding like an entry level professional, because we are giving you experience that is going to make you stand out from every other person in the tech field. Okay, all right, so this is the project showcase, right? We've gotten to the most interesting part of this session already, and I am going to show you exactly what this project looks like in real sense. Okay, so let me just do that. All right. So the project is called Higher Sense. And what is Higher Sense all about? Higher Sense is a platform that connects recruiters with candidates and candidates with recruiters, right? So it helps these recruiters to hire smarter, right? So it's putting you as a candidate in front of the right spaces. Okay, and it's also helping the business to build stronger teams. So we are serving two different people for this particular project, that is the recruiter and the job seeker. Okay, so you can see that this particular project is solving a real problem in the job market, which is you are a job seeker. How can I get direct contacts with these recruiters? I mean, I've applied for so many jobs. Where can I have a platform that these people are on board and I get to showcase myself, whereby they see me directly? That's the problem we are solving with this. And this whole project you're seeing here, looking very beautiful and fantastic, was worked on by our interns at Amdari, right? So we had the business developers, the business analysts on this project. They did the research, they created the user persona, and they also created the user map for this particular project, and even the MVP features. If you're a project manager, if you're a business analyst, you'd understand some of these things I'm saying on this call. Okay, so you can see that even the developers of this particular project were also on board. So the project would even go live very soon, and they've been working on this project since December, January. Okay, so you can see that this is a real life project, and imagine having this on your CV. You are able to show the recruiter that, I mean, I was part of this, I did this, and you can clearly tell them exactly how and what this particular project solved. Okay, so we also had the PMs on this project, the project managers, and what did they do? They created the MVP developer cycle, right? Development cycle. And they were also managing stakeholders on this project. What else were they doing? They were testing and giving feedback, right? So you can see that it is a whole process. It is a whole process. And they are going to be on this call to explain exactly what they did to you, right? So that's what we have for you today. Now you get to see exactly the kind of experience we are giving you. We're not giving you make believe project. We're not giving you capstone projects. We're actually pushing you to solve real problems. Okay, that is exactly what we are doing for you. Now, what did these interns do for this project, right? I already mentioned what the PMs did and the business analysts, right? So you know that the business analysts have their own focus, which is understanding what the users actually need and defining the clear requirements. And trust me, if you've been checking a lot of job descriptions, you will understand that some of these things and some of these terms are what these recruiters are expecting of you as you're coming on board as either a business analyst or a project manager. Okay, so it's not like we are doing this thing without considering the business side of things or the employment part of things. We understand that this is exactly what they are looking for. They want someone that has collaborated in cross-functional teams. They need someone that has actually done the work before, so that once you get on board and there's a project on ground, there's problem, you are able to get in, start working as soon as possible, right? You're not confused and you're not looking for someone to micromanage you. That is what we are taking away, the confusion, and we're giving you pure strategy and real clarity on exactly how you are going to land the job you're looking for in tech. Okay, so we have two of our interns on board, and if they're here on this call, you can give me a thumbs up already. If you're here, if Zainab and Andrew is here on this call, you can already give me a thumbs up. Okay, so we have two of these interns. We have one, a business analyst and a project management consultant at Amdari. We have Zainab, who is also she's the project management consultant. So you can see that we are not calling our interns because what they do. Imagine having such a project as what I showed you, and you're calling yourself an intern. It's going to defeat the whole aim, because as an intern, you wouldn't even have access to work on that kind of project. Okay, it's a real life project. So we call our interns consultants because that's exactly what they are. They are solving real business problems. Okay, so I'm just going to check if we have them on this call. Hi Zainab, hi Andrew, are you here with us? Okay, I can see Zainab already on the call. Andrew and Zainab, they are ready as ever to get started. Okay, so which of you wants to go first? Zainab, you would go first. Yes, all right, lovely, she's ready to go first. And please, before she starts sharing her screen, I want you guys to fill the attendance form, because it is very important. You'd want to get you want to rewatch this session and have access to some of the materials we'll be sharing in this session. So please do do the needful and fill the attendance form. My colleague has already dropped it in the chat, right? So you just have to fill it. Okay, Zainab, are you good to go? You can start sharing your screen already. All right, lovely. All right, so do we have Andrew? Andrew can go ahead. I think Zainab is still trying to set things. Okay, all right. So I want them to speak for themselves so that it won't be like I am giving you guys all talk without show. Okay. So she's raising her hand. Okay. You might use the chat or you unmute yourself. Okay. All right. Andrew, if you are also ready, you can just go ahead. Or okay, I cannot unmute. Okay. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, Zainab. All right, I'm just going to okay. All right, you might want to try that now. I've given you permission to do that. Okay, sorry about that, Zainab.
Thanks, Victoria. Unfortunately, you're still not giving me access to share my screen.
Oh, you might want to try it, because I
Yeah,
just
it's up
did.
now. Yeah, it's active.
All right,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, Zainab.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm here to present the software we're developing, which is the AI-powered recruitment platform called HireSense. And this presentation is a joint presentation between myself as well as Andrew, who is the business analyst consultant on this project. So what is the task given to us? So we're asked to develop an AI-powered recruitment platform, which is expected to bridge the gap between the business owner, the job seeker, I beg your pardon, as well as the recruiter. So this is our business problem. Number one, we are expected to address the difficulties recruiters face. Sorry about that. We're expected to address the difficulties recruiters face in identifying the right candidates that are expected to be hired for the jobs they are posting. Another problem is the high hiring costs that they have with the manual process, because it's highly inefficient. Research has shown that once you're using like an AI-powered recruitment system, you have like as much as 30% reduction in the hiring cost. Also, the third problem we're solving is the lack of tools to evaluate cultural fit. So you in a lot of organizations, we see where people have the right technical skills or capacity, but their cultural fit doesn't really align with the core cultures of that organization. So that's also another problem that is being faced in the hiring space. And also, finally, the job seekers also tend to struggle with presenting themselves effectively, as well as even applying for the right jobs that match their skills. So these are the four main problems we're trying to address with this application. So this is the expected outcome for us to have an AI powered platform that both recruiters and job seekers can use to mainly analyze resume, their skill set, as well as company cultural fit, as I mentioned, as part of the problems, so that the ideal candidates will be recommended for open positions. Also, to simplify the hiring process for the recruiters, because we've seen cases where people like have more than 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 applications to screen, and just using only ATS sometimes is still inefficient. You need more, you need beyond ATS only. Also, enhancing job seeking outcomes for candidates by leveraging on data driven insights. We're in the AI era, we're in the AI world. So a lot of things now are really done using artificial intelligence. So even for the job seekers, they really need to get some level of insight and data to inform their decision in applying for jobs they do, and also to get them to apply for the right jobs. So these are the expected outcomes from the app we're developing. So it's a web app. Let me not say app, and people assume it's just an offline app. It's actually a web app. So we have four modules within the project. Two are the main modules, which is the recruiter feature as well as the job seeker feature, while the other two are more of cross-cutting that goes across everything we're doing here. They're more like support. So the AI logic as well as the integration is part of what goes into both the recruiters aspect as well as the job seeker aspect. So the AI part works for both of them, and also the testing is done on every part of the project. All right, so we're going into like an update or progress of what we've done so far. We've broken the progress into two parts. We have the planning phase and then the execution phase. So in the planning phase, we usually had bi-weekly meetings twice in the week, and it's for us to know where we are as a team, because we're working virtually. So working virtually, we have to meet frequently within the team to know where each team member is, what they're working on, and where we are with the timeline we're meant to meet. Then we developed an activity tracker for the first phase of the implementation, and we now finally developed a timeline that has everything from the initiation up to the endpoint where we hand over the MVP. Then we also had some documents that we developed during the planning phase. We had the project charter, which was developed by the project management team, and we also worked on the project initiation document. So these two documents.
Sorry,
Zainab.
Zainab.
Yes.
Sorry
You're no
to
longer
cut you
sharing
short.
your screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
might
didn't
want to
get
check
that.
it. Okay, your screen stopped sharing, so you might want to check that. You stopped sharing your screen.
Thank you. Let me share again. Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's up already.
Okay. Do I need to step back, or I can continue from the progress report?
Oh yeah, continue. Just stop for like a second or two.
Oh, okay. All right then. So let me just take the progress report again. As I mentioned earlier, in case I wasn't heard, the progress report we're giving here is going to be in two phases. We had the planning phase and then the execution phase. So within the planning phase, we had planning meetings, which was held bi-weekly, and it's where the whole team comes together, discuss all our deliverables and within the planning stage and where we are with everything vis-a-vis our timelines, because we've set timelines for everything. We also developed our activity tracker to ensure that every deliverable is on track. These are things I did as a project manager to coordinate the team and ensure we're doing everything as expected. And also, we are working virtually. Just to add that, we're all from different locations within the globe. So we're working virtually, and these meetings were where we come together to discuss. Um, we were able to develop a number of documents within the planning phase. We, as the project managers, we were able to come up with the project charter as well as the project initiation document. We had done our research to see the problem and what other companies are using, so that we can come up with a AI-powered platform that is really good and meets, and it's even beyond the expectation of the job seekers as well as the recruiters. We had to do a lot of research to get those things in line. Then our other team members, who are the business analysts, were the ones that worked on our business requirement documents and the integration requirement documents. They also worked on the process flow map, which is because when we started, we had some engagement with our uh, um, product owners who we had a lot of elicitations with them. We've done interviews, we had engagement meetings with them just to understand what is available for us to work with and what is not available for us, to ensure that we get to work on those things. So things like the process flow map for the as is something that wasn't existing. So our business analyst had to come up with those those process flow maps, both the as is and then the to be, which is where we want to get to. Then requirements gathering was also handled by the business analysts to ensure that they gather all the relevant and the right materials and information for us to have a successful project. Yeah. So this is the progress part of execution. So for the execution, the team, let me just say this, the team has a group of project manager, business analysts. We have our product designer, who others call them the UI UX designer, and we also have our developers. So that's the group we have working on this platform. So for the wireframe and the prototype, our UI UX, or the product designer, worked on that part, but we're working closely with him to ensure that we have the right things that are expected, because we, as the project managers and the business analysts, know exactly what we need. So based on that, we had to guide the product designer to ensure that he gives us the right prototype for what we're expecting. We came up with things like the website copy, the about us, our pricing plan for the platform, as well as the pages for our website. We had to work on as things like even the emails. When you are signing up on our app, you have to know what the email will contain. The email when you have a forgotten password, when you forget your password, all those things, we had to work on everything in detail and share with the product designer for him to be able to come up with a prototype. Then when he came up with the prototype, we're satisfied that is what we want to work with. Immediately, we started working as well together with the developer to ensure that is implemented. And as just to mention that, even though we started the prototype, but we're still working on it because we have a lot of features within the app. So we are still working on a lot of the other parts of the prototype as development is ongoing. And we've agreed on the strategy, or the we're going to work with, and it's an agile atmosphere we're working with. So for that, things are happening concurrently so that we ensure we manage the time we have. We only have 12 weeks to come up with a minimum viable product. So that is why we're working in an agile scenario. Then within the development phase, we had the business analysts work on our backlogs. They came up with the backlogs we needed, and we had our meetings to ensure that we refine the backlog to align with what we expect to be in the MVP. And then also after refining our backlog, we had our sprint planning meeting. So we are now currently in our second sprint within the project, but we had a sprint planning meeting for the first sprint as well as this second sprint. Normally our sprint planning meetings happens immediately before we start up a sprint. And then within the meetings, we are having a daily stand-up within the team because we are now in the development stage. We can't have a bi-weekly meeting at this stage. We keep having daily stand-ups to ensure that there are no blockers. If there are any blockers, how do we overcome them and meet up with our sprint timelines? So that's what we're doing currently. For the sprint part, I won't talk in detail about this because our business analyst will take on and talk more in details on the sprint we're having. So I will just show you exactly what we've been doing as project management consultants within the team. So this is our project timeline that we came up with. So this covers from our project concept and initiation stage through to when we will have our project closeout. So this is just a snapshot of our project timeline, and we keep coming back to it to ensure we're within time, and if we're off, why are we off, and how do we get to get ourselves back on track. Then this is the project charter we're able to develop. A project charter is a concise document we share with our product owners so that they know what we want to do and what it entails, the budget, our research and everything. It shows the business case and the business problems as well, and what will be our key performance indicators. Then we also came up with a project initiation document, as I mentioned earlier. This is just a snapshot. It's like the project charter is like just, I think, 5 pages, while this is almost like 17 pages. This is a more detailed document that have more information on it, but the project charter is a bit summarized because we are giving it to key high stakeholders. They have a lot they're doing. We can't give them a 20-page document to look at. So this is our board where this is at the execution stage. So we're using Jira to manage this project we're doing. So this is showing us the timeline from the first sprint we had. In the first sprint, we had 2 user stories, 2 epics, I mean, with 5 user stories. So this is just a snapshot of our timeline when we completed the project. Then this is our sprint burn down, and it's showing you how many sprints we've done. We were expected to finish. The black straight line shows you on a good day based on the timeline we set and what we need to do. This is our guide. We're supposed to end at this point, but we ended here. It's still on February 21st. The difference is the time. We're supposed to end a little bit early, but we didn't end until around 10 p.m. We're supposed to end by 9. So this is like the difference in what you see between the black line, the gray line, and the blue line. This is just a summary of the progress. We had 2 epics, and both of them are 100% done. This is still just the sprint burn down. Then this is just a snapshot of the meeting notes. As a project manager, we're supposed to take notes and keep records of every meetings we've heard and every activity we're doing. So this is just a snapshot of some of our meeting notes. And because Atlassian is really robust, we're able to have everything within that. We have our board on Jira, and also we have all our meeting notes within the Confluence, all within Atlassian. So we have everything in one. It's a one-stop shop where you can get all our information. We don't need to keep moving between different apps to have our documents stored. So the meeting note on the right is the one we had with our product designer when we're trying to come up with the prototype, while the snapshot on the left is showing you one of our sprint planning meetings. So this is just a snapshot, but it's a detailed meeting notes that is there. All right, so now I would hand over to Andrew to take us through the business analysis aspects of this.
Thank you very much, Dana. Sorry, please confirm everyone can hear me.
Oh yes, we
Can everyone
can hear you, Andrew. Before you
Okay.
go ahead, Zainab, that was so lovely. I am so impressed, honestly. So I'm just going to call Andrew to come up so that he would also talk about his own part of things. So Andrew, yeah, go ahead, Andrew.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Zainab. So Zainab has pretty much given like a holistic approach to what we're doing and everything that's going on so far. So I'm going to pretty much focus on the business analysis part of it. So pretty much a project manager and a business analyst, they really work hand in hand. So it's very, very thin line between their roles. So obviously the project manager is the one, because every team needs a captain, right? You can't have two captains. So the project manager is like the captain. So they steer the ship. So even though you guys are working on the same thing, we're about delivering the same project. So specifically for this project, the business analyst is responsible for the BRD, which is the business requirement documents. So just look at this like a manual, so to speak, in layman term. So this is the manual where you outline everything you want to do, how you want to go about it. So and how this document is developed is from the project brief. So we get the
Okay, hi
project brief.
Andrew. I think we stopped hearing you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello?
Is it muted? We can't hear you.
Yes,
Right
we
now.
can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Victory.
So I think
Can you guys
it's your
hear
network.
Andrew?
Yes, we can hear Andrew. I think it's your network. Can you hear us, Victory?
yes. Okay.
I don't think Victory can hear us. Andrew, you can proceed. I'll reach out to Victory.
Okay. Okay. So, like I was saying, so the BRD documents, how the business analysts come up with this BRD, or rather, how we came up with this was from the project brief. So, the project brief, obviously, Zainab already highlighted the problems the business is facing. So, they are pretty much using the traditional form where people send in their resumes and they get to go about it. So, it's a bit cumbersome. So, now they're trying to optimize it to a better option and incorporating AI with it. So the first thing we did was we had a stakeholder and requirements gathering where we talked to the stakeholders and sort of like came up with like questions. After looking at the brief, we sat down together, the business analyst came up with questionnaires and sent it to the stakeholders, and they gave us more details. And based on the details and information they gave us, we're able to like come up with different solutions and even had further questions to ask. So based on those questions and everything, we're able to come up with like the functional requirements, what the website will look like. It's not an app, but it's a website that you can actually look at on your phone. So people might confuse it to be an app, but it is a website. So here is a screenshot. The BRD document is actually pretty concise. It's about a 12-page document. So, but I just sort of like summarize just to show like key points of it. So this is the functional requirements. So the functional requirements are like how a system functions, pretty much. So I'll give an example, like a login detail. So if you have to log in, the login is the functional requirement, because that's where you get to go put in your password and your email or something, and it gives you your results. So these are the functional requirements. So for this particular project, as you can see, it talks about smart resume screening, cultural fits. Those are some of the key points that we're trying to do with the functional requirement. So then the other part is the non-functional requirements. So the non-functional requirements are like the functions that are very important that you can't see. So things like maybe the speed or how fast the page loads, and maybe how many resumes the page can take and things like that. So just the interface, the back end part of it. So that's pretty much the non-functional requirements. So then now this is another part of the BR. This is the as-is process map. So the as-is process map just means what the business is like. So this is what the business is right now as it is. So it's the system where you take your resume, you send it in, and you hope to get a response, or maybe the recruiter has a bunch of messages, and so sometimes they don't get back to you. So it's a pretty much old process. So this is just pretty much us breaking it down step by step basis, and that is why it's called the as-is process map. So the next one is the to-be process map. So the to-be process map is the future. So pretty much what we're trying to get to. So we're taking the old process and are trying to optimize this into the to-be process. So the to-be process is where we incorporate the AI functions, and this is just a step that shows what we're doing and how the system operates and is more optimized and everything. So that's pretty much what the process to-be process map is. So that is also the role of a business analyst to come up with those documents. So the product backlog. So the product backlog is pretty much, Zainab showed you a snapshot of it. So this is where after you've done the BRD, and done the functional requirements and non-functional requirements, now you have to create user stories. So user stories is like answering the questions or telling or breaking down the project into infinitesimal spaces to achieve those goals, because you can't just go and start everything at a time. And because this is an agile project and it's iterative, so we have deliverables every 2 weeks. So in other words, we need to break the deliverables every 2 weeks so that we're not wasting time, so that every 2 weeks we have deliverables. So this is what the project backlog is, or that's what it contains. And we have 5 sprints. Those sprints, exactly. So those sprints are like what we're trying to do. So the first, like you see the first one right now, telling you personalized dashboards and everything. So that's what we're trying to do. So we work hand in hand with the developer here. So where we come together, we already told them this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to build. So the developer comes here and tell us realistically what can be achieved within those 2 weeks, because we don't want to waste any 2 weeks. So we can gather and put everything that we can or achieve or deliver in that first 2 weeks so that we can show progress. So the first 2 sprints, we have 2 sprints, successful sprints, right? Like Zainab rightfully highlighted. So I think that the first one is like the user page is available now, the interface, the prototype. So those are the sprints that we deliver. So those are the sort of things we do. So that's what this backlog does. So anyone that is completed, we just keep checking it off the list and showing that, because once the sprint is done, it means it's absolutely 100% done, like it's fixed, like you can use it, it's functional. So anybody can come and look at it. So yeah, so that's pretty much what the product backlog is. So this is just a screenshot. This is just a snapshot of what a product backlog is. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Okay, Andrew, you're not done.
Okay, that's it.
Are you done?
Yeah, Zainab's going to take over from here now, just to
Okay.
show like a couple pictures.
All right. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Andrew. As he said, we're working very closely and hand in hand. So sometimes if you don't really pay attention, you would get confused to even get who is doing what. So that's why we try to highlight what the business analyst did and also what the project management consultants are doing. So now this is like the endpoint of where we're going with all those documents we've mentioned that were developed and every other detail. So this, we're showing you a prototype because, as we said, we only did 1 sprint of for the work we're doing for the product. So this was the work we did with our product designer. These are the different pages, the different features. It's just like when you enter any website, you click between pages, you go from this page to that page. So this is a snapshot of what those pages will look like. So I'm going to the next one, which is the interface. So once you let's say you type www.highersense.com, I'm giving you an example. This is the first page you'll go into once you type that. So because it's a long page, that's why you're seeing it really slim, you need to keep scrolling when you're working on this. And just to show you that the plan is for us to have a light mode and as well as a dark mode. We know a lot of people tend to use automatically within their systems. When it's evening, it goes into dark mode. So we've understood that, and we're trying to put those things into perspective. So there'll be the light mode, which is the default mode that the website would have, but there's an option of dark mode that can be switched on if you want to. All right, so I'm just zooming into that slim, long interface that you've seen. So this is the top part of the interface, and this is like our action statement when you open the page. Smarter hiring, stronger teams. So it's an AI-powered recruitment feature. So you can just get started from here. You can either get started from the top part of the document, and you can see there are like 4 toggles above here, which shows you you can click to the About Us and just go straight there, or the job listings. You can also go to our blogs and our Contact Us. You don't need to scroll. Once you click on Contact Us, for instance, it just takes you down to the end of the page so that you can see that information. So this is when you see it in the dark mode. You can even see we made a little adjustment. That's why you're seeing 2 toggles here. So when you come into the page, if you're a recruiter, you just get started as a recruiter. And while if you're a job seeker, you get started as a job seeker. And at the bottom of at the mid part of the document, you would see different companies. For example, that's Chevrolet. This is Shopify. You can see Microsoft. You can see Ford. These are like companies that are using. These are companies that are using that have used the AI powered platform. Yeah, so this is the part where when you come in and you want to, when you scroll down, you can see this part. If you're a recruiter, this is what you will see. This is the smart resume screening. You can click on any of these 4 tabs: the candidate comparison tool, the interview suggestions. So you can click that. If you toggle to the right, that is where the job seeker is. You would now see this. This is what you see, and you'll see it in light mode. Let me say that everything in light mode will be light, but if it's in dark mode, you'll see it in this as this interface. So for the job seeker, it's get hired faster with AI assistance, and you can see the resume optimization tool, the personalized job recommendation, the application tracker, and we also have a mock interview feedback as well. You can do a mock interview on the website and also get a feedback from the mock interview. Then this just tells you how the system works. You can upload job descriptions or AI screening and matching an interview. This just gives you additional details on how the website works. Then these are just few success stories, and these bubbles will be moving as we have more user stories, success stories. You'll see a lot of them here, and when you come hover around a picture, you would see what the person mentioned about the platform. So this is more like we're still selling our platform. Why choose HireSense? So these are the benefits. If you choose to use HireSense, these are the benefits you get: bias reduction, AI-powered candidate matching, seamless integration, as well as real-time analytics. The job, the recruiter would see analytics on how the job postings are doing, how many people have looked at the job posting, how many people have even applied for the job posting. There are a lot of analytics that you can get from the platform. So now we also have a pricing plan, and these are the pricing plans we have for a recruiter. So for a recruiter, their base plan starts at $50 per month. Then we have the professional plan, and then the enterprise plan, which is a custom pricing. It depends on the features that organization wants. And how we did the pricing plan is also looking at, we know there are different type of companies. We have the very small startups up to the very big conglomerates. So anyone that fits you, you can get it within the HireSense platform. Then for the job seekers, knowing that they're job seekers, they're still trying to get themselves within the workspace. So we have a free plan, which is the basic plan for them. And then we have a premium plan, which is just $20 per month, which has more features over the basic. You get everything in the basics and even more when you sign up for the premium plan as a job seeker. So this is our blog post. It is still dummy because we've not gotten to this stage, but it will look something like this. And we have like different job like write-ups about the different things there. Then this is part of our contact us. You can see the phone number, the email, as well as our location, our social media handles as well, LinkedIn, Instagram, whichever handle the business is on would be available here as well. Then now I'm just going to quickly show us the recruiter interface. So as a recruiter, once you come in and click that you're a recruiter, the first thing we expect you to do is create an account. And when you're creating an account as a recruiter, you need to create an account with a company name, because we assume you're doing it for a company. So you're not using your individual name to register on HireSense. You have to use your company registration to do that and sign up. And you would notice that everything I've been showing you is in between blue and orange, just to say that HireSense company logo is the brand color for HireSense is blue and orange. That is why we are focusing on those two colors. And these are like the little details we had to pay attention to ensure we give our business owners the right website. Yeah, so after you register to sign up, you would get an email, and when you click on the link within the email, it brings you to our login page and you can go into your dashboard. But perhaps a person forgets his password. These are things that happen. We now have a lot of passwords for different applications that people are working with. So if you forget your password, you can easily retrieve it by putting in your email, and you get a link, and then you come back and register a new password, and then you can access your page. Then this is when you're registering your new password. You see, after you put the password, and we also understand the level of security required for things like this. So there are minimum requirements that you can have before a password needs to meet before it will be successful. It has to have uppercase, lowercase, it has to have a digit, it has to have a symbol and all that. So we've considered all that, and it has to be a minimum of 8 characters as well. So if you don't meet any of these requirements, these 4 boxes under the password would be red. You have to meet all these requirements before the password can be okay for you to use it to sign in. And let me just mention this as well. The orange part, what our recruiters say, this is just like a success story from one of the recruiters. It's just still trying to show you people that have used the platform, what they're saying about it. So now this is the dashboard for a recruiter. As a recruiter, when you come into your dashboard, this is what you first see. You will see the number of jobs you've posted, the number of views of the jobs you've posted, and the number of applications you've received. There's even a space for you to track your interviews that you've set up, whatever you have, like a calendar. It's also going to be integrated into like your Google Calendar, so you can easily see your scheduled interviews and all that within the document. And top applicants is also something that you can easily see, because it's AI powered. It helps you it shows you even who are the top applicants are. You'll see that it's the same picture here, just to say that this is still just a prototype. That's why you're seeing that. Once it's live, you won't see the same pictures there. And then all the applicants, the ones you've shortlisted, and a little bit of analytics here. There's also a dashboard for you to see the detailed analytics, but you can see analytics in a snapshot all within your dashboard. And even within the dashboard on the left hand side, you can see that we have different pages that you can click and go into. Apart from the main dashboard, there's the job post management, where you go there, pre-fill your job posting, and you post it from there. You can either upload a Word document or a PDF, or you can type in manually what you want to type in and post that job. Then these are where you can see all the applicants in detail, the resume screening, the candidate comparison, as well as your schedule, then the help. And it depends on the platform you're on. You can see at the bottom left-hand corner, you would see upgrade, because if you're on a plan that is, let's say, the basic plan, you can upgrade to a premium plan or an enterprise plan. So you'll see all that on the interface on your dashboard. Then this is just like the applicant dashboard. I won't go really into details on that. I just snapped the applicant dashboard to show you what you can see in detail within the applicant dashboard. You'll see the person's name, the job title they applied for, the required skills, the experience, location, and then salary range. Then now I want to show us the job seeker interface. Same as the recruiter, the job seeker must also create an account. But for the job seeker, you're creating an account with your name and your last name, and then your email address. And the plan is to also have an option to either like sign in using Google, that's your Gmail, or using LinkedIn. So these are all part of the plans we have. And because of there are some high security information that a person is putting, you're putting like things like your location and all that, you need to agree to our terms of conditions because of privacy policy and all those things. You have to agree to that. You must check this box before you'll be able to sign up. Then same thing, this blue part, what our job seekers are saying is also just a success story from our job seekers. Then you can go in and sign into your account, and then when you come into your account, this is the dashboard you see. So you can see this recruiting, you can see the 3 here tells you how many organizations or companies are recruiting based on your job preference. The example here is you are a UI UX designer, so that's what you're applying for. So if this tells you that there are 3 companies that are actively recruiting a UI UX designer at this point in time, then these are the number of applications you've done, the number that is successful, the ones that are not successful, and then how many interviews you have scheduled. Then this part of the dashboard, that's the middle part, shows you like the company that is recruiting. You can see the UI UX designer for the first one is Shopify. Then we have this second one. We also have the Microsoft. You have different companies recruiting. And also, we still within your dashboard, you can easily see how many people have applied so far for the role. and you can see whether it's remote, whether it's an entry position, a senior position, is it full-time or is it part-time. You can see all this detail here. And when you click to see how you fit the job, then the AI does the comparison or analysis between your resume as well as the job posting, so that you see whether you're fit for the position, to know if you need to apply or you don't need to apply for the role. Then on the right hand side, you can also see what you have scheduled. Do you have interview scheduled? Something, are you currently in an interview session, or you have done an interview earlier? It just shows you, like, on the day, a snapshot of what you have outlined. Then on the left hand side, you can see we have, apart from the dashboard, you can see the resume optimization, the job recommendations, application tracker, and the help. And similar to that of the job seeker, there's the upgrade button below. So if you're using a basic plan, you can upgrade to the premium plan. So this is the interface where you're to upload your resume. So, and the system can allow you to upload your resume either by importing a PDF, or even through your LinkedIn, or if you want to create the resume manually, you can also do that. You have all the options to choose from. So once you upload your resume, it will analyze the resume automatically. That's where our AI is coming in. It analyzes the resume, and it now gives you your ATS score. So you can see this 35 of 100 is showing you that this is your 35%. The ATS score is 35%. And it also highlights the issues it has detected on your resume, so that if you want to improve on them, you know exactly what the problems are within your resume. Yeah, so this is just a snapshot of what you can see on that platform once it goes live. There are a lot more, but I'm conscious of time, and that's why we just said, let's just bring these key highlights to you at this point. Thank you very much. Hi, Victoria. I'm done.
All right. Oh my God, that was so interesting. Like, that was a very interesting, that was a very interesting one. If you didn't find that interesting, then I don't know what you would find interesting, because I was so absorbed in what she was saying that, wow, like, imagine having an AI powered platform on your resume. Trust me, it's a project that even a recruiter would be so impressed that they don't even need any further confirmation if you are a fit for the job or not. I mean, you could hear how Zainab was speaking with so much confidence. You could hear that she did this project and she knows exactly what she did in this project. Okay. So if you were impressed as I was, because I was very impressed, please just give me a thumbs up, or you just clap for her. Clap for my interns, please. Clap for Amdari interns if you were impressed as I was. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we'll just proceed. We are actually short of time, but you got to hear and you got to understand that these guys are solving real problems. They are solving real world problems. You could see that project. I mean, some of you are even excited that you'd want to try it out. I mean, you know that you'd pay for something like that, right? So you can see the kinds of projects we are giving to our interns. We're not just giving them any kind of projects. We're giving them projects that recruiters want to see. And you guys understand how important AI is nowadays. So there is no recruiter that would hear that you worked on something relating to AI and you won't have their interest. You would gain and grab their attention, okay? And these are the kind of projects that if a, if an organization or a company hears, they would want to get you on board as quickly as possible to help them solve their own problems. Okay, so you heard the experience that Amdari gave to Zainab and Andrew. I mean, you could hear how they articulated themselves very well. You could see that Zainab actually managed this project as a project manager. And even if you wake her up tomorrow or in the middle of the night and ask her, Zainab, this what is this part of this project? I mean, can you explain? She's going to clearly explain and you would understand. Even if you're not a project manager on board on this call with me, I'm pretty sure you could understand what she was saying. Okay, so this kind of project on your portfolio would showcase real world project work. It is also going to showcase your cross-functional collaboration skills. So you heard when she said that she worked with the business analyst, you heard when she said that she worked with the developers and even the UI UX guys. So that's the cross-functional team. That's the whole team of people, okay? And so problem solving, it's like a real business setting. So you can see that that's not a capstone project, and that project is going to go live very soon. So you're getting yourself involved with real life problem solving, okay? So that takes me down to back to Amdari, because those are Amdari products, and I'm sure some of you would want to, have that kind of experience where you'd be able to sell yourself the way Zainab just did. If I was a recruiter, I'd want Zainab to come work for me, honestly, and Andrew, I'd want both of them to come on board with me, okay? So what are we giving to you? You get to work on 6 to 10 real world projects, just like Higher Sense, right? You're working with similar kinds of problems, you're solving real business challenges, and you're also giving recommendations to these businesses, okay? You could hear when she said that they've had some stakeholder meetings already. So it's like a real business setting, right? There's deadline, you get to present your findings to stakeholders, and you're building a lot of soft skills alongside your hard skills and technical skills, okay? And multiple industry experience, right? So you're not just working in projects with one particular industry. No, we don't like to limit you, okay? You get to work on projects across board. You could be working on a health related project, you could be working on a sales related project, or it could be a marketing type of project, or even a fintech company kind of project. So we are we're giving you that exposure, okay? And we're making you very versatile. Now, teamwork, project collaboration. I don't even need to emphasize on this again, because you could see that Andrew and Zainab, they were both in sync, because they've been having stand-ups, they understand what the business problem is about, and they know exactly what phase they are in this particular project. So they are working together in collaboration on this project, and that is exactly the experience we are giving to you, okay? Multiple technology experience, right? You're not just working on a particular kind of technology. But this, Zainab, are you still here with us? I would love to ask you a very quick question. Hi Zainab, okay, yes, she's here. I want to know, like, what were the technology and tools that were involved in getting Higher Sense up? Like, what tools did you work with alongside, other teammates? What were the tools you were mostly working with? Okay, you can unmute yourself actually and speak. Oh, I don't know who keeps messing with the controls. All right, you can do it now. You can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay,
You
thank
can
you
go
very
ahead and speak. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're using quite a number of tools. One is Atlassian.
Someone's mic is on.
All right.
Someone
Thank
is
you.
distracting. Okay. All right. You can
Yes.
go ahead, Zainab.
Okay, thank you. We're using one major tool we're using now in the execution phase is Atlassian, where we have our Jira board that we track the development we're doing. Those sprints Andrew explained is on the Jira board within Atlassian, and also where we take our notes is still within Atlassian, which is Confluence. And so we are using Google Meets. That's where we have our virtual meetings on. And for the business, for the requirements gathering, we use Google Sheets to do our interviews. So we use Google Doc to do the interviews we had with the colleagues, because we just send like surveys to them to respond apart from the meetings we had. So these are some of the tools we've used. The process flow maps were made using draw.io. I know that's what Andrew used and the other business analysts within the team. So we're using quite a number of tools to carry out this
Thank
project.
you so much. Thank you so much. So I didn't just want to be speaking. I also wanted to show you guys that you're going to be working on quite a number of tools. And she even mentioned the tools Andrew as the business analyst worked on. So you see, these guys are in sync and they are in collaboration. Okay. Now, increased confidence for future roles. Trust me, the confidence Amdari is going to give you, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't, I mean, it is already clear that once you've done this thing yourself, there is a confidence you have. If you're in an interview room, you are able to clearly communicate what you've done to stakeholders without even fidgeting. You're not going to feel like a fraud. I mean, you spent months working on your project, depending on the timeline of your project, and there's the confidence you are going to have knowing that you did that by yourself, right? You are going to articulate yourself clearly. And networking opportunities, as Zainab mentioned, right? Zainab and Andrew, they both mentioned that you'll be working with people from different countries, right? Zainab is in Ghana, and we have different people from the UK, we have people from US, we have a lot of interns across different countries on board. Now, in addition to experience-based, the project-based experience will be giving you, you'll be gaining employability skills. What does this mean? This means that we are not just leaving you after the project-based experience. We are taking it a step further, right? So we'll revamp your CV and review your CV. So your CV clearly articulates the kind of shows you as a professional in your field. Okay, will optimize your LinkedIn profile too. LinkedIn is one platform that if you're sleeping on it as a tech professional, then I don't know why, because a lot of opportunities are on LinkedIn. All you need to do is position yourself very well and you'll be able to attract these opportunities, right? So what we do for you is that we optimize your LinkedIn in such a way that you attract these opportunities. Now, one-on-one mentorship. As you're coming on board, you're not working by yourself, right? You are assigned a team lead and a mentor, right? So if you come across any form of challenges during your project phase, you have someone to run to, right? These people are industry professionals. They have over 4 to 6 years of experience in the industry. They know exactly what is expected. So you can always reach out to them and they are your mentors, okay? Career coaching, likewise. If you have any questions, you have any difficulties, you have any form of challenges, you have coaches to run to, okay? Interview prep, right? Let's say you land an interview and you still need preparation, because it is a skill on its own for you to be able to convince a recruiter that you are what they hire, and that is just a skill on its own. So we prepare you for these interviews. You need to understand strategies for negotiating your salaries. You understand the key strategies for communicating effectively, okay? Because you might have done the project yourself, but it's another thing for you to be able to explain to someone, just like how Andrew and Zainab did. Explain in such a way that they understand what you're saying, right? You're not just speaking on you're not just talking without having a clear and precise outcome at the end of the day, right? That's what we do for you. And a job reference letter, you would have access to a job reference letter from Andari. Now, this job reference letter, even it lasts even up to 2 years when you're done with us. What does that mean? 6 months after your internship, if you're going for the 6 months package, you have access to this job reference letter. So even if you're done after a year, you took a break and you just needed to, you're ready to go back in the job search phase after a year from your internship with us, you can always come back to us and ask for this reference letter. Just last month, or I'm saying last month, few weeks ago, some of our interns already asked for this reference letter because they wanted to start their masters and they needed some kind of proof that, oh, you've worked with a company before. And Amdari is registered in the UK and also registered in Canada. So you're having the UK based experience too. And on the job support, we don't just leave you alone. Even after your whole internship with us, if you still need a little bit of hand holding, because trust me, in the real business setting, it is different from theory, right? So you might still need a little bit of hand holding and we would still give that to you. Okay. Now, this is an example of an optimized profile of one of our consultants. And the features of an optimized profile is that it should be able to clearly show what you do, the skills you use, and your value proposition. So how would you even know these things if you're not yet on Amdari? Because a lot of people don't know. You don't know that you need to have certain kinds of keywords in your profile so that when a recruiter is looking for a particular type of professional, let's say they are looking for a data analyst and they just search data analyst, your profile will show up. right? It is when you've imputed those keywords into your about section, into your headline, and even into your banner. That's when that is going to happen. And how would you know this if you don't have that access to the right information? We give that information to you at Amdari, and we optimize your profile for searches too. And now on the right is a very revamped CV, right? So this CV is ATS tested. That means it's going to pass the ATS test, right? And it clearly shows exactly what the owner of this CV has done, the skills they have, technical skills and core skills, and even the she's already started with Amdari. So some of her projects and also the business problem she solves is already there on her profile. And it's just like 3 months in already. So you can see that we already start optimizing your profile and even your revamping your resume and your CV a month in or even 2 months into your session, into your internship. Okay. So this is what we are doing for you. And how exactly does this internship work? Let me break this down. You might want to pay rapt attention because I know a lot of you have questions and would soon be taking questions. Okay. So we get these projects from our business partners, right? So you could see during the presentation that that project is not a capstone project. It's a real life business problem that they are solving, right? So we've gotten this project and business problems from our different business partners. We have partners across the UK, we have in Canada, and we even have in the US and other countries like Ireland. Okay. So what we do next is to assign these projects to you as an intern in Teams. And the best part about it is that we don't call our interns, we call them consultants, because what you're doing is more than internship, right? You're solving real problems and you're basically a consultant solving business problems for different industries, right? You come together, evaluate the problem, come up with recommendations and solutions, and at the end of the day, you get to present. Now, I want you guys to understand that the reason why our interns could come to this session and clearly present it because they've done this before. They've presented this project to these key stakeholders already, and they know what it means to be able to present a project. Okay, so this is the skill these guys are getting from Amdari. That's what we are giving to them basically. Okay, and you get to add this on your CV, you get to add your work experience on your portfolio on LinkedIn, and you get access to the work reference on demand, right? You're going to use this experience definitely during your interviews, and I mentioned this already. Now, we have a cohort open for March. And one thing about our cohorts is that our cohorts run out fast because we don't like taking a lot of interns, right? We only have slots for 20 people per career path, right? So the career path we have currently at Amdari, we have the data analysis, we have data science, we have data engineering, business analysis, cyber security, which we broke down to three major aspects of it. That is the SOC analysis, ethical hacking, and GRC, right? So some of you might be asking yourself, I've not seen PM on this list. Our PM slots got exhausted already. So we are no longer taking a lot of PMs. You know that these guys, it's quality over quantity for us at Amdari, right? So we want to be able to make sure that your experience is top notch, right? And the only way we can ensure of that is by not bringing so many people on board, right? We know the people that are bringing on board. And I want to also use this to tell you guys that we are not training you at Amdari. Just have that at the back of your head. It's not a training organization. What we are doing for you is that we are giving you real world experience, right? So I'm going to break down this pricing structure so that you understand which of the plans might be suitable for you. Okay. So we have two packages. We have the 3 months internship experience and we have the 6 months internship experience. The 3 months internship experience is for people that just want to brush up on their skills, have solid projects on their portfolio, and they want to get back in the job search phase as soon as possible, right? Because not a lot of people have so much time to spend on the internship. So they are still going to get the same value for their for the internship, just that the time span is going to be different, okay? And for that particular package, it costs $400. That's the actual price, right? So we host sessions like this so that we'll be able to have people get access to this our internship. How? Because we provide discounts for people that join our sessions like this. Okay, so you're saving yourself $100 just by virtue of being here on this call with me, right? So instead of paying $400, you pay 300. And the beautiful part about this package is that you're paying across installments. So we have an installmental payment plan where you get to pay $300 across 3 months. That means you start right now on this call, you secure your slot, take advantage of the discount right now with $100. You pay your next $100 by the next month and follow up with the third month, right? Thereby finishing up your $300 payments, right? So for the 6 months package, it is going to be my colleagues are already dropping the link for some of you that want to take quick action because this slot gets exhausted fast, right? So we have the 6 months installmental plan, 6 months package where you get to pay $500 instead of $700 just by virtue of being here with me today. So there's also an installmental plan for the 6 months package. So you get to spread your $500 payments across 5 installments. Okay, so I'm quickly going to show you. We are taking questions very soon. You can already start dropping some of your questions in the chat, right? I would also give you time to speak and talk about whatever questions you want to ask. Okay, so before I go into that, I want to show you guys how to make payments. Okay, so once you click on the link that my colleagues have dropped on the chat, it's going to take you to this platform. Now, what you need to do is select the particular internship experience you're going for. Let's say I'm going for the business analysis because that's why we are here today. 3 months business analysis internship program. Okay, so the payment page comes up and you get to pay with the currency you're most comfortable with. Let's say you want to pay in, let's use pounds for this. All right, so let's use GPB for this. Right, so you can see here that you can secure your first your slot right now with just 88 pounds, right? 88.74 pounds. Then you follow up your payments with the remaining amounts. Okay, so you could pay with whatever currency is convenient for you. And I'm going to choose the 3 months package, secure internship. So you can see here that if I pay my first installment today, my next installment will be due on the 27th of March, followed by April. Okay, and you click on proceed. It's going to show you the you need to fill out your details here, and then you receive an email from Amdari, right, where you get to screenshot that email because you're going to be redirected back to this platform where you fill out the payment registration form, right? So this form is going to give us information about you. Okay, yeah. So I've put my first name, I've inserted my last name already, registration email, country of residence, and my current status. Am I a student, recent graduate, whatever it is, you tell us here on the form, and your phone number. Then you click on next, right? It's going to take you to the next platform, the next part of the sheet. My bad. So I'm clicking on business analysis, which is why we are here today, and you upload your receipts, the screenshots, and click on next. Now, you might have a commitment for March because that's our next quote, and you might want to secure your slot, but you want to start in April or May. So you just click on whenever you're ready to start with us. And how did you find out about the internship? You tell us. Okay, so what influenced your decision to join us at Amdari? You tell us to and submit the form. Okay, now that is for payment. I'm just going to show you guys 2 more things, then we'll start taking questions, right? So I want you guys to have so many questions for me because I love answering questions. Here are some things you would also have access to just by enrolling for our internship, right? So we have a job board, and what is on this job board is we've been able to compile job description. I said different job postings from different platforms like GitHub, Indeed, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and even Flex Jobs, right? So this job postings are going to be specific for the particular career path we work with at Amdari. So you see more of data science, you see more of things relating to data engineering and the likes. Okay, you can also get to see all these jobs here are remote jobs in different countries, right? So you get to see the different salaries that they will pay you and the rest of it, and you can apply for as many jobs as possible with the revamped CV that we are going to revamp for you. Okay, another thing you'll be having access to by virtue of being an intern with Amdari is our portfolio builder, right? So what does this mean? It means that you can also showcase your project with our portfolio, right? So you get to tell us about yourself, you tell us the tools you're conversant and very familiar with, and the years of experience, total projects you have. And the best part about this is that this doesn't require any coding. You just need to fill a simple form and you would build all this here. You can also share this on LinkedIn. You can share it with on whatever platforms you want to share it on. Okay, so it's a whole process, right? We are giving you extra leverage, right? So with the employability skills, we're also giving you access to a job portfolio builder. You have the job board for you to apply for your jobs, and you even have one-on-one mentorship, CV revamping, and all the good things, right? So with all this leverage, trust me, your chances of landing that your dream role, it elevates from maybe 20% to like 70-80%. Okay, another key thing I want to show you guys is a very very interesting job description, right? So this is read.co.uk. So the job postings on this particular kind of platforms are mostly jobs in the UK. Okay, so you can see this job, and we are just going to go to the job description and key responsibilities. So I want to highlight something. You can see here, business requirements gathering. This is what our interns are doing, and you could hear when our intern mentioned that. Okay, process mapping, stakeholder engagement, all this have been done by our interns, and they've already explained how they did it, right? So you can see that we've already given them this experience, so it is so easy to apply to as many jobs as they want to. Why? Because they have the experience that is needed. They've done literally everything here, and even if they land the interview, they can always defend what they've done. Okay, so you can see that even the skills and tools, right? You heard when our intern was mentioning the tools she worked with, and you could hear that she can even handle stakeholders. So these are the things that are required of you when as you're coming into the field. Okay, so it's time for questions, and I'm going to be taking questions now so that we can get this get this done. All right. So if you have a question for me, unmute yourself. Okay, I'm going to mention names. So I'll be mentioning names according to how I see you on my screen. Okay. So let me just
Yeah.
stop
Can
sharing
I
so I
ask
can.
a question?
All right. Yes. Yes, it's question
Yes.
time.
Hi. Yeah. I
Malawi.
want to know no, my name is Rebecca. What's the difference between the 3 months and the 6 months program?
All right. For the 3 months program, you won't be working on as much project as you would for the 6 months program. What do I mean? That means that if you're working on 10 projects for your 6 months program or over 10 real world problems, since the time span is shorter for the 3 months, you might get to work on up to six, like 4 to 6 projects for the 3 months. So the only difference between these two packages is the number of projects you'll be working on. Okay, because some of these projects could span maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even up to a month, right? Or 2 weeks, just depending on your team lead and the business problem at hand. So you know that if you're having a 3 months package, you will not be able to have access to as much time to work on as much projects. Do you understand? Have I been able to clear that
Okay.
up, Malawi? Yes.
Yeah. No, I understand. However,
All right.
let's say you enroll in the 3 months, and then in the midst of it you think, oh no, I need the 6 months. Can you top up your fee to the
Yes.
discounted one, to the
Yes, you can.
discounted rate? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So are you joining the April or March cohort? So I take notes and secure your slots for you.
Is that for me, that question?
Yes, Malawi.
Yeah.
March or
The
April.
March would be would be appropriate for me. And what's
All right.
the like, what are the classes like? Is it every day? Is it only once a week, or how is it
All right.
programmed?
Okay, so you would have stand-up meetings. Okay, before I even answer that question, what career path are you going into, Malawi?
Rebecca, call me Rebecca. Malawi is the
Oh, oh,
country.
oh, okay. I was even wondering, like, Malawi. All right. Okay.
No,
So
no, no,
what
Rebecca.
career path? What career path?
I'm thinking of business analysis because I've trained
All
in
right.
business analysis, but that was like a year or two ago. So I'm thinking business analysis, but I will see once I get to the form. I may be able to change, but business analysis.
All right. So if from your question you asked what the whole thing is going to be like. Okay, so you get to have stand-up meetings with your team, right? These
Yeah.
stand-up meetings could be bi-weekly or daily. And this is just you
Okay.
guys coming together to like have an idea of what you have to do for the day or whatever. But the
Yeah.
internship itself, you just need to dedicate 2 an hour to 4 hours, like 2 to 4 hours of your time with us, because we understand that there are a lot of interns on ground that have 9 to 5 jobs. We also have some of them
Yeah.
that have businesses. So we try to make sure this internship is as convenient and flexible as possible, right? So it just depends on your team lead and your team members. You guys will come together and agree on a suitable time for everyone on the team, okay? So it is very time friendly and accessible for, even if you have a busy schedule, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Do you
Okay.
have any questions for me? Do you have any other questions for me, Malawi?
Oh, trust me, I've got loads, but let me give access, let me give a chance to others.
All right, lovely. Okay, that's fine. Who else do we have? We have Abayomi. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
fine.
sorry. Yeah, sorry
Yeah,
about
can
that,
just
please.
you can call say the name as Yomi for short.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yomi. Oh, thank you.
yes,
My
please.
bad. All right. So,
So
what do
my
you have
question
for
is
us?
around the remark you made while presenting. You had said that Andari you would not train. You are
Yes,
just giving a platform for internship. And I saw
yes.
that there's business analysis and there's also data analysis. Data analysis, I don't know how it will work. Will there be an opportunity for people that, or a candidate that has not had the skill or the expertise on Power BI and other tools like that to learn them? Because as you said, it's an internship. So if I'm doing data analysis, how am I going to be handheld through the process of understanding how to get data from Excel into Power BI and things around that? It is quite technical with data analysis. I don't know how that runs.
Okay. All right. So before I answer your question, right, do you have any form of foundational knowledge already? Or your problem is just the technologies and the tools you'll be working with? So I want to like understand where your head is at. Is it do you have any form of foundational knowledge already with data analysis or business analysis?
Well, because during the course of my professional life, I've worked at different places and I've had reasons to be
Use.
responsible or be an end user of different tools. I've used Excel, I've used this, I've used that. But then now having that wearing that cap of a data analyst or a business analyst means you have to be able to implement or use and juggle things around all of these tools with competence. Then it becomes a different story. I will not come here as someone that knows. I'm coming. I want to present myself as a clean slate so that I can get the full benefit. Because I mean, you have to unlearn and learn new things
All right. All
in the
right.
new world
So
order.
all right, I understand you clearly. Now, you already have used these tools before, okay? I know that maybe you had to watch a few videos just so that you'd be able to use these tools for your work, like it was part of your work during your whole working phase, right? Now, since you already have that foundational understanding of how to use these tools, that is already enough for you to join us on the internship. And why am I saying this? Now, even if you would need to refresh your memory or you would need to like, brush up on some of these tools, we have crash courses. So let's say our data analyst for the November cohort, they had to work with a very, very unique, interesting tool, Microsoft Script. And not everyone on that team really understood how to use that, but we had crash courses for them. So you're not coming in, and you also have your one-on-one mentors, right? So you're not going to be by yourself. And I understand that you might want to start on a clean slate, but you have that background foundation, right? All you need now is to hyper focus and fixate on, branding yourself now as a data analyst, right? So the fact that you've used certain tools in data analysis before, it still makes you, you're still okay for the program with us. Does that make sense?
Yes, I do. I do understand
Yes.
what you're saying. I hope it works. I'm just cross between picking the business analysis or data analysis.
All right. So, which of them do you see yourself in for the longer term, like career-wise? Do you future yourself becoming a data analyst, or you see yourself getting more into the business analysis part of things? That is what is going to determine where you put yourself into. And they're almost there's a variation, but at the same time they are kind of similar. Okay, so
yeah, it's something I'll figure out and I will make a pick, since in the long run the entry point is quite the same, being able to make the payment and say I want to start at this period. Can I confirm if both of them are available for March and April?
they are both available for March and April.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Okay. So we would love to still keep in touch with you. And for anyone on this call that still, you want to join us on board and you still need us to like clarify a few things just for want of time, because I know some of you have questions, but you still need that one-on-one, you need to speak to a professional one-on-one. I would encourage you to also, book a one-on-one session with us, right? So my colleague is going to drop that and I'm going to continue taking questions. So we have Olamide here with me. Okay, before we go to Olamide, Yomi, have I been able to answer your questions, or do you have any other question for us?
Oh, the only thing is I'd like you to book me for a one-on-one session.
Oh, lovely, lovely. So my colleague is going to drop that link in the chat, right? So you might, have a few questions. You need more clarity, right? You want to make a decision, but you still need an extra clarity. Please book the clarity call with us, okay? So Olamide, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Yomi.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just want to ask that can someone that has no experience and has no competence in using all those tools start afresh as a data analyst with on your platform?
All right. So as I said earlier, we do not train, right? We only give you the experience. So we assume that you have some form of foundational knowledge already, and we build on that foundational knowledge. So with the foundational knowledge you have, you now reinforce your learning by working on tools. I'm sorry, by working on real world projects, right? So if you do not have that tool, if you don't have the skill sets, trust me, you're going to struggle, because you're coming on board with people that have probably used some of these before, and we don't want a situation where you're not getting maybe you're lost most of the program, and maybe you're not getting as much, you're not really enjoying it, right? So what we do is that we make sure, or we advise that you gain that skill set, right? So you can do that with our sister platform, because we have a sister platform called Tenalytics, and they do the training aspect of things. And once you're done with your training, you can still come back to Amdari and gain the experience that we are going to give to you, okay? So if you don't have any skill sets yet, you've not learned the tools, you've not gone through boot camps or training at all, then Dari is not for you. Do you understand me, Olamide?
I get that.
Yes.
So this your sister company, can I get the link?
All right. So my colleague is going to drop that in the chat, and you might want to, can we also share your details with them? I hope everyone on this call has filled the attendance. I would assume that everyone has filled the attendance form, because that way we can be able to reach out to you Okay, if you don't have, if not fill the attendance form, we won't be able to get your, information. All right. So my colleague has dropped the website link, yes, to our sister company, and you can go there. You see where to contact someone, and they are at your beck and call. Okay. Do you have any other questions, Olamide? All right, that's fine. Okay. Does any other person have a question for me? I can see a few more people on the call. We have OV, we have Zainab. Okay, someone is asking for the attendance sheet. Please, my colleague is going to drop it, and I would love for everyone on this call to fill the sheet, right? So we will not be able to take all the questions here due to want of time, but you can also book a clarity call, fill the attendance form so we can still reach out to you personally, okay? So let me just check out. Do we have any more questions? Olamide, your hand is still raised. Do you have another question for us?
Oh, sorry, I don't have. Sorry.
All right, Alan. We have Alan on the call. You can unmute yourself. We have Abdullah, AY, Abayomi. If you guys are still here with me, please give me a thumbs up. I just hope nobody slept because this session was so interesting to me that I was just watching and I was so impressed with the Amdari interns that I mean, okay, we still have people here on the call with me. Lovely. All right. So you guys don't have any questions for me. Tara, you don't have a question. I'm surprised that you guys don't have so much questions for me. Or
No,
are
I
you using
don't.
the chat?
I don't actually. I just I had a session with you guys yesterday, and this one it was just out of curiosity, really. It's not really
Oh,
within the year, and I've already
okay.
registered for the
Oh,
um.
lovely.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
So,
okay.
thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome on board. Welcome on board. Okay. So I'm just going to call on Ovi. Hi, Ovi. Are you still here with us? All right, all right. So I believe we don't have as much questions. Everybody have registered. That's why they're not asking me questions, and I'm very happy about that. Okay. So I'm just going to buttress on this again. I want you to make sure that you fill the attendance form, and also make sure that you also book the clarity call with us if you still need more information, right? Because I do not want to keep you guys so long on the call. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to ask one more time. Any more questions for me? Clarifications? You want to know anything about Amdari, or you have any personal challenge that you're currently facing in your career progression and you want to speak to someone? Okay. Vanessa, your hand is up. You can go ahead and speak.
Okay, hi.
Hi, Vanessa. You can use it.
So I
Yes.
actually just joined late. I was supposed to join on time. Okay, particular about this work experience. Okay, I've actually done a lot of programs from other places. I really want to get a meaning to whatever I want to do. Yeah, because when I saw you guys advert. So it's quite engaging. So I really want to
Yeah.
know, do you think one can really gain something from this whole? Because yeah, I get tired of paying for the same stuff right now I'm about to do right now to you guys. And yeah, we at the end of the day, I don't see what it doesn't really help me. I don't really see what it does when I finish doing a program in project management or business analysis. So yeah, I want to really be sure that yeah, I can actually gain value from this whole program if you guys offer it at all.
All right, all right. So you see, I understand your fear perfectly because these days there are a lot of people selling a lot of things online, right? So you you joined the session late, and I assume you
Yeah.
didn't get to hear when our interns when they were explaining their project, right? So this session is about an AI powered platform, and I'm just going to show you real quick. This is a project that our interns worked on. Okay, so we're not here to make things up. We're not trying to sell. We're not trying to sell a dream. Okay, and we also have the attendance form, so you can always watch this session again from the beginning to understand what it is all about. Okay, so this project is a cross-functional project whereby we had the business analyst on board, we had the project managers, and we also had the developers and UI UX designers, right? So you can see that this is real. They are solving real world problems. And this project connects the recruiter and the job seekers together, right? So this is just a sample of like what you'll be doing here with us, right? So it's not we're not selling a dream here. We have interns on board, from November interns, December interns, January interns, February, and now we're about to recruit most of you here to join our March internship, right? So if I understand that there are people selling a lot of things nowadays, right? But this is me telling you that Amdari is not one of those people, right? We have Zainab is here on the call with me, and she's an intern. And had it been you were here earlier, you can watch the video back, like you can watch it by yourself, right? So it's
That's
a
fine.
recorded session, and yes. So I feel that's going to clear up all your doubts because you watched the presentation, okay?
Okay, and second, I tried to the first time I tried to make payment for the program, but I noticed the it wasn't available for me to make payment for the project management. So, and I sent an
Oh,
email, but yes, no one has
all
answered
right,
me yet. Though they answered me, but they've not gotten back to me again. So if they can
all
speed
right.
it up, I appreciate
So
that. Yeah.
yes. Now the thing for the project management internship is that our slots for that internship actually it's it was already full, right? So currently we're no longer taking PMs. Okay, we've already exhausted the slots for that. And for this program, it's quality over quantity. We don't take a lot of interns, right? We only open up 20 slots per career path for each of the cohorts. So if you're coming in as a data analyst, once you guys have reached 20, we close that particular internship, right? If I register and start and pay today, when will I start hands-on projects? The March cohort starts on the 8th of March, right? So if you're paying now, you secured your slot and you've taken advantage of the discount. That means by the 8th of March, you would have received your job description and you would have also received everything. The onboarding session is going to be then. So you get to meet you get to meet your team lead, and you get to meet other people on your team where they get to explain everything you need to know about the internship, right? So it's starting on the 8th of March, and that's like just few days away. And once that internship starts, you won't even have access to pay with the installment, pay with the discounted price any longer. Okay. That's why we encourage their slot as soon as they can so that these slots don't go it doesn't get exhausted. Okay. So Vanessa, sorry that our PM slots actually there we're not taking PMs at the moment. So you can give us maybe a month or two when they are done, when we are done with this particular cohort and they are done with their projects, then would take you guys for the by maybe May or April, right?
Mm.
Yeah. We have business analysis if it's something you would love to consider too.
Yeah,
Business
I've done a lot
analysis
of
slot is
business. I've done a lot
open.
of BAs, but I really wanted to go for projects. I was back paying, but I
All
really don't
right.
know why it didn't work. It didn't go through. And I actually sent an email, so I
How
didn't
long
really
was this?
respond. It just
How
February,
long
yeah,
was
like
this?
beginning of like 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, actually, or 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah, so I got the
okay.
link and
So
yeah, I was supposed to make my payment and yeah,
sorry about
so
that. Then sorry about that.
okay.
All right.
All right.
So we'll still keep in touch with you so that once our slots open up, I'll still reach out to you. So ensure to fill the attendance form so that I can indicate your interest. Okay. All right. Do we have any
Okay.
other question? My own concern is why the cybersecurity slots are only available for 3 months only. All right. So the only reason that is so is because of demand. Okay. So most of the people that came on board for cybersecurity, they wanted to specialize, and a lot of them they wanted to do like let's say one person would want to start with SOC for the first 3 months, and the next 3 months they might want to do GRC, right? So we gave that particular plan so that it's going to be flexible enough for them, and that's the demand currently, right? Because most of them wanted to specialize more. That's why it is for 3 months. But if you want to extend your period of the internship, right, you can, start with a particular aspect, and as you progress, you might add GRC or you might add another pen testing and just make it up for 6 months. Does that make sense? You can do two different internships together. You can just, if 3 months is not okay for you. Tara, can you unmute yourself? Can you speak to me? Oh, it does. It does make sense. Okay, that makes sense. All right. Lovely. So Tara, what course would you be joining us in so that I can, take note of you? I don't want you to miss out on this slot, March 8th. All right. Tara is joining us in March. Okay. So would reach out to you and ensure that you're able to make payments without any problems. Okay. So she said she's joining GRC. Lovely. All right. So do we have any other questions? We're about to call it a night, and it's been a very interesting session, and I love speaking to you guys. Okay. She already made payments. Lovely. Welcome. Welcome on board, Tara. I am excited to have you on board for GRC. And you are in luck because the GRC projects are very interesting. Honestly, I was showing this project to an intern, to a prospect yesterday, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to start. Let me just show you real quick so you understand what I am talking about, right?" So let me show you. Let me show you what you'll be working on. You said GRC, okay? So I'm just going to show you the projects. All right, so let me refresh this. Very, very interesting one. All right, I think, okay, I'm not sure I have access yet. All right, let me just confirm this. Okay. All right, so I'm not sure I picked it out, but trust me, it's a very interesting project. It is a very interesting one. Okay, so welcome on board already. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Some people have been so quiet on this call, like Olamide. Olamide has not said anything. Chijoke, I'll just assume you guys have booked a clarity call. Okay. All right. So in the absence of any questions, we can call it a night. And before I call it a night, I want you to make sure that you know, fill the attendance form, book a clarity session with us so that you clear whatever doubts you have, you see everything you need to see, and would answer any of your questions you have, right? You may not be able to, ask on this call, or maybe you still want us to explain some further things to you. So please ensure that you book a clarity call with us. Fill the attendance form too. All right. So we don't have access to the attendance form yet. My colleague is sharing the attendance. She's sharing the attendance form already. Okay. So please check the chat. You're going to see that. Okay. All right. All right. So at this point, I'm just going to thank you guys for taking out time to listen to our diary interns, and I said intern consultants, and also listen to me. Thank you for taking out time to join this session, and it was a very interesting one. Okay. So have a wonderful morning, have a wonderful afternoon, have a wonderful evening from whichever time zone you're joining me from. Okay. You can take your time back, and we are calling it a night. All right. So have a great evening. Goodbye, guys. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.